Here's a reality check that'll make every NFL fan stop and think. One of the league's most respected veterans is about to walk away from millions of dollars and the game he's dominated for nearly 2 decades. Calais Campbell, the defensive powerhouse who just switched from the Miami Dolphins back to his original home with the Arizona Cardinals, is dropping major hints about hanging up his cleats after the 2025 season. And honestly, the writing seems to be on the wall, even though he's still playing like a man half his age. But here's where it gets controversial. Should a player of Campbell's caliber really be contemplating retirement when he's still performing at an elite level? The 18-year veteran isn't beating around the bush when reporters ask about his future plans. During recent media sessions as Arizona gears up for their preseason matchup against Denver, Campbell delivered some pretty telling comments that have fans and analysts buzzing. "I would be very surprised if it's not," Campbell stated when asked if this could be his final campaign. "I try not to think about the future. I just stay present. But I'd be very surprised if it's not." Talk about refreshing honesty in an era where athletes typically give cookie-cutter responses. Campbell's approach is almost philosophical, focusing entirely on the present moment, rather than getting caught up in future possibilities. And this is the part most people miss. Campbell's mindset reveals something profound about how elite athletes think differently than the rest of us. "I have no thoughts at all about playing football again after this year," he explained to reporters before joint practices with the Broncos. "I'm giving everything I've got to this season. There ain't no tomorrow. I don't even know if tomorrow exists. All I got is right now." This summer, Campbell made the emotionally charged decision to leave Miami and return to Arizona, the very franchise that believed in him enough to select him in the second round of the 2008 NFL Draft. His homecoming wasn't just about nostalgia. It was a calculated move that speaks volumes about where his heart truly lies. The Cardinals welcomed him back with open arms, offering him a 1-year contract as an unrestricted free agent. But here's what makes this situation fascinating. While Campbell sounds ready to retire, the Cardinals organization clearly isn't treating this like a farewell tour. General Manager Monty Ossenfort made his position crystal clear during training camp. This is not just some farewell homecoming tour. Calais is still playing at a high level. He's going to be a big part of what we're doing defensively. Ossenfort continued, emphasizing Campbell's ongoing value. He's going to bring length, disruptiveness, size, pass rushing ability, run stopping ability. We're just happy that it worked out to be able to bring him in here. But here's where things get interesting and potentially controversial. Should teams be investing in aging veterans when they could be developing younger talent? Campbell's performance with Miami last season certainly supports the Cardinals' confidence in him. The veteran defensive tackle appeared in all 17 regular season games, which is remarkable for any player, let alone someone approaching his 40s. His statistical output remained impressive: 5 sacks, 35 tackles, and 1 forced fumble. He formed an incredibly effective partnership with Zach Sealer, creating one of the more formidable defensive tackle duos in the league. Early reports from Arizona's training camp suggest Campbell hasn't lost a step. Coaches and teammates are raving about his conditioning, technique, and that legendary motor that has defined his career. It's almost like he's found a fountain of youth by returning to his original NFL home. Here's what makes Campbell's situation even more intriguing. Miami's head coach Mike McDaniel reportedly made a strong push to retain Campbell's services. The fact that those negotiations fell through raises questions about priorities, contract terms, and possibly Campbell's own desire for a change of scenery. Was it purely about money, team chemistry, or did Campbell simply feel the pull of returning to where it all started? Let's talk numbers for a moment, because Campbell's career statistics are absolutely staggering. Over his 17 seasons, soon to be 18, he's accumulated 110.5 career sacks, putting him in some seriously elite company. Add to that 18 forced fumbles, 651 solo tackles, and 6 Pro Bowl selections, and you're looking at a potential Hall of Fame resume. Campbell's journey through the NFL reads like a roadmap of professional excellence. From his early days with Arizona to successful stints with Jacksonville, Baltimore, and Atlanta before his recent time in Miami, he's consistently delivered at the highest level, regardless of the uniform he's worn. But this brings up another controversial point. In today's NFL, should loyalty to one franchise matter more than maximizing career earnings and opportunities? Campbell's career path suggests he values new challenges and fresh starts, which might explain why he's been so successful across multiple organizations. Each team has benefited from his professionalism, leadership, and on-field production. The timing of Campbell's potential retirement also raises eyebrows. At a time when defensive tackles with his skill set command premium salaries, and with his body apparently still holding up remarkably well, some might argue he's leaving money on the table. Then again, maybe that's exactly the point. Campbell seems to be approaching this decision from a place of fulfillment rather than financial necessity. He's achieved individual accolades, team success, and financial security. Perhaps he recognizes that going out on top is better than hanging on too long. What do you think? Is Campbell making the right choice by potentially retiring while he's still performing at an elite level? Or should he continue playing as long as his body allows and teams are willing to pay him? Some fans argue that players owe it to themselves and their families to maximize their earning potential in a career that can end at any moment. Others believe there's something admirable about recognizing when it's time to step away, regardless of external pressures. Here's another angle that's worth considering. Campbell's approach to this potential final season could set a new standard for how veteran players handle retirement decisions. Instead of the typical "we'll see what happens" responses, he's being remarkably transparent about his thought process. Is this level of honesty refreshing, or does it create unnecessary pressure and distraction for his team? The Cardinals clearly believe they're getting a player who's fully committed to the 2025 season, regardless of what happens afterward. But knowing that their defensive stalwart might be playing his final games could add extra motivation or extra pressure to make this season count. As we watch Campbell's potentially final campaign unfold, it's worth reflecting on what makes a career truly complete. Is it about breaking records, winning championships, financial success, or is it about competing at the highest level for as long as your passion and performance align? Campbell seems to have found his answer, even if he's keeping the final decision close to his chest until the season concludes. What's your take on this situation? Do you respect Campbell's transparency about potentially retiring, or do you think he should keep playing as long as he's effective? And here's the bigger question. Should more veteran players follow his lead in being honest about their retirement timeline, or does this create unnecessary drama? Let us know in the comments. Are you team play until you can't, or team go out on your own terms?